What's up, everybody? It's Keefe from Ghost Cult Magazine, ghostcultmag.com, and I'm here with the one and only Stu Block from Iced Earth. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Yourself?
I am great. And we're here at the Gramercy Theatre in New York City, and we're here on tour tonight. Shows in a few hours. Incorruptible is the album out now on Century Media. First of all, super strong lineup on the tour. Really great to see this kind of package. How's it been going so far?
It's going great, man. It's a blessing to have Sanctuary out with us, man, in lieu of everything that's happened. Losing World Dane is a big hit to the metal community and a big hit to music. No, it's really good. We get to hear the songs, and Joseph Michael's doing a great job, and I think it's all around doing well. The fans are loving it, so can't ask for anything more than that, man. They're in full force, so.
Awesome, and it's great to support them. Obviously losing Worrell, as you said, it's a terrible blow. He was a wonderful guy by all accounts and a legendary singer. And it is a tour of great singers, obviously you as well. So just reflecting on the quality of the package, I always think about the longevity and the talent of Iced Earth, and I think part of the secret has been the versatility of the band.
Mm-hmm.
You were part of that as well, with your versatility as a vocalist. What do you think that says about this kind of environment right now to tour with this kind of package? And it's not quite all one style. Everybody's got their own thing. But what do you think about that?
I think it's a big thing. It's actually a big thing that's happening right now. Not even just having. I'm noticing a lot of packages that are really diverse within the genre of metal that they're doing. More and more festivals are getting that way too. They're really mixing things up a bit. So I think that's just sort of the way things are going. Diversity is a big thing. You can't have a package of bands that all sound the same, right? And I think when you have that, it's obviously more attractive. I'm a fan too, man. When I go out to see a package and I'm like, man, I get all these cool bands and I'm getting bang for my buck, So it's really, I think it's a really important thing to have that and the differences and we're noticing that as we tour and as we're out there with different bands and all that kind of stuff. Especially I'm noticing in the festivals. It's like there's more and more crazy different bands that you've never heard of before that are maybe even different genres of music, different genres of rock and all that kind of stuff, and they're really merging together because it brings new fans together and exposes new fans to other bands that maybe they haven't seen before. So I think it's very important for the emerging music scene and for the emerging touring scene. Now going forward, the way that the music industry is changing, we need to change and we need to adapt and we need to become diverse in every aspect of what we're doing. So.
Killer. Any festivals in particular that you have enjoyed lately?
We're going to be just embarking upon our next set of festivals, which is this summer. But this last round, we didn't do a ton. Actually, we didn't. We were out there. It was we did not a lot of festivals, but there was as far as diversity, if you want to talk about diversity, there was a Laura Lee festival, and there was everything from pop bands to grindcore death metal bands. It was crazy, but it was really cool because you could see that everyone was taking it in and all that kind of stuff. It was a really big festival, I've always wanted to play Wacken. I haven't done it yet, but I know that hopefully we'll be doing it soon. Not this summer, but maybe next year, we'll see. Looking forward to. We just released actually our summer festivals just recently, so go check it out. And a lot of cool stuff we're doing. So.
Yeah. Get on that, Wacken.
Yeah, I know.
That is the holy grail. I also want to go someday. North America, I don't think has that kind of diversity, although we are seeing more and more music festivals open it up. You see a lot of second stage bands or the more underground bands, and you need your big commercial bands to sell tickets. But Europe, as you know, and South America really pile on the metal, indiscriminate of genres and subgenres, really embrace it.
I think recently, within the last 3 years, there have been some bigger North American festivals opening up. It's 3 or 4 of them, like Heavy Montreal. I know that's not in America, but it brings in a lot of diverse metal bands and stuff. And I think there's one out of Chicago. I can't remember all the other places, but there's a few big ones that are happening. I think that's really cool. But yeah, it is mostly in Europe, and I think the U.S. at one point was doing it. There were some cool festivals, and I think everything like it is, man. It comes in waves and trends, and it depends on how where people are at, and I never really understand why the big festival scene really never, especially with heavy metal. Now there are big festivals in the U.S. all over the place, but it's just like more country or like pop festivals and all that kind of stuff. As far as heavy metal, there's no real constant for North America, but Europe, it's always been the same, man. It's always been heavy out there. It's always been constant things. So
cool. And a really good point to make is that I think despite the commercial aspect being what it always is, certainly the metal underground is alive, and there's a ton of really killer either heavy metal or power metal influenced bands right now, and obviously Iced Earth crosses some of those things with a few other things, of course, like thrash. What a great time it is right now for things like heavy metal and power metal. We were talking before the interview about Judas Priest, the current tour. Just an amazing time. Maiden had a great album and a couple of runs of huge world tours. Now Priest. What a time to be alive.
It is, yeah. And I mean, for people, especially for emerging fans, there's a lot of young Judas Priest and Iron Maiden fans out there still, right? And they're going to be able to go to their first concerts or maybe their second or third concerts, and these bands are still putting out quality music, no matter how you want to look at it. They're still it's still good, but I think that's really awesome that they're continuing to do it. It's sad when they do retire. It sucks when it happens, but we're only human. They can only do it for so long until they pickle us somehow and we can keep Bruce Dickinson doing it forever. Then we're in. But until then, age catches up and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's really cool the way that, and the stage shows are still awesome, and they still put 100% into it, and I think that's really important too.
I'm still dreaming of the day when Iced Earth can do a big production, and like I said,
Yeah.
I'm greedy. I want to set
I know.
I want everything.
So do we.
I know.
Yeah.
Schaefer's dreamed it up. We talked about it in the past. I know he would if the opportunity arises. Let's talk about Incorruptible, man.
Sure.
This is your fourth actual release with the band, seventh release altogether in your career, other than some underground demos or stuff.
Yeah.
Personally, I think this is your best work. Phenomenal job
Thank you.
on the album. You're always killer and killer live, but this record is really diverse. There's amazing harmonies that you double track yourself. There's all kinds of stuff on there. I don't know if it was a conscious thing that you stepped up even more than the last record, but it's definitely a step up.
Yeah. I feel we like everything we do, but I agree with you. This record is a very strong record. We always have to take into considerations the bands go through certain events and certain things when each record is being created. Plagues was a whole different beast, right? And there was things going on, and I don't want to get into details and stuff like that, but everything is sort of, sometimes we step out of the comfort zone and things happen. But I think this record really came together because we had that time off. We did a lot of soul searching. There's a lot of personal things, really very, very close and very emotional and personal things that came out in this album, and we had a lot of time to really think about it. And so those were some really beneficial factors. And now we have our own studio. We have HQ. We have Independence Hall, which really, really helps John not worry. It's still, there's still money to be spent, but it's a lot less than sitting in a studio where you're under really, really time constraints. And there are still time constraints, but it's not like it's thousands of dollars going out the window every day. And as opposed to, we're able to control things a little bit more financially and be able to control things at our own pace a little bit more when you own your own studio. And I think it came out really, really great. And having Chris Zeus helping us, he was really amazing, man. And he not only a great great engineer, and of course he's a great producer as well, but John produces most 99% of it. He's our producer, but he's a really great guy. We were laughing, we all clicked in the studio, and we were having a great time. So that's a big part of it as well. So there's a lot of factors involved as to why this album came out the way it did. And comfort levels are always a big thing for us. And with Dystopia, I first joined the band, and there was a different way we wrote there. John and I always write with each other, but you know, there was a different environment there. Plagues, it was a different environment. You know, this album, different environment. So we're finding that comfort level, and I love each album. I really do. I think they're all very special to me and near and dear to my heart. But this album, there's something going on there that I don't think even we can explain. It's just something happening that, and it's going to continue to keep happening. And I think that it's really cool the way, because I was, you know, me being new, I'm still discovering myself, and I'm still. I mean, I learned so much every time I record an album, especially with, you know, with John, especially these last 3 albums. I have learned so much. It has brought me to a whole different level of as a singer, as how I record and my mentality and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's just me maturing as a singer as well. When we're talking about the singing aspect, when we're talking about the overall aspect, I think it's the maturity level of how John and I write together, and of course that magic that just happens, you know, and there's, I don't, then that's the thing that we can't explain, that that words really can't describe. So, but we're happy, and I think the fans are loving it, and I'm really happy with it, and I think John is, and the whole band is, and like I said, I'll repeat myself again, I think the fans are really enjoying it too. So.
That was great, Stu.
Yeah.
And you know, I was thinking, you were talking about the studio there a minute ago, and obviously how refreshing and freeing it is when you're unshackled a little bit from, you know, the rigors of being in a band. It's not just all fun and games, kids. There's a lot of work.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sweat, and there's a lot of worry.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of worry financially.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, you know, kudos to you guys for getting, you know, putting together your own studio and having your own space.
Yeah. And
I don't know, do you guys do a lot of pre-pro? I know John is a big fan of demos.
Yeah, we do. So we'll record stuff before we record stuff, and we it's kind of how it works, and we just bounce it off each other and listen to it a few times and make our adjustments. Yeah.
Killer. And you know, yeah, I love that you also talked about just growth, and I think that's an important thing. I think it's always important to never stop growing and keep trying to better yourself. I was lucky enough recently to be part of a Bruce Dickinson lecture about his book, and he talked about, like, even after he was scared of dying, and obviously we're all fans of Bruce, that you know, the inspiration to keep trying to get better. I haven't written my best song yet. Fans love my music. I still want to write my masterpiece that hasn't happened yet.
Right.
And that's an amazing thing for him to say.
It's true, man.
Any of us, you know.
It's true. It's true. And I think that if you keep trying to better then, I mean, you've heard the lecture before, and I'm sure everyone else has too, but it is just keep going. And I don't think once you're settled and once you're satisfied, I don't think that, you know, if you sit there and go, I've done it, I'm the best at what I need to be at, and I think that you should need to quit, because, you know, if you really aren't striving to be better and better and better all the time, then if you feel like you've hit that plateau, move on, man. Go master something else, master. You know what I mean? Go, you know, because honestly, I don't think anybody does. I think we are always, and I think that comes down to the human ego, where it comes down to we are our own worst critics. And I think I'll even listen to stuff even now that I've recorded on even this album and go, I wish I could have done that a little better, and I wish, maybe we should change that up. It's like a painting, man. You got to know when to have your last brush stroke and move on, and then make that next one even better. Learn from that one and make it even better. And I think that's what makes music the most beautiful thing, the most progressive thing, is that it keeps getting better that way.
That's some great advice, man. I always, again, I think about the longevity of the band. The band is over 25 years old. Big anniversary in July. Something Wicked, This Way Comes, is 20 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have anything special planned. I kind of hope you do.
Yeah.
I know you occasionally bring out songs from that
album.
Yeah. Any plans, any talk of that at all? I don't know if it's a nostalgia thing or if you guys would do a whole album performance, but
there was talk of it. It just depends on a lot of factors. Like, there were some offers there were some promoters that wanted it done, but it takes a lot to do that, and to be able to pull it off correctly, there needs to be the financial backing to do it. So no offers have been good enough yet to be able to do it, but we can do our little things during the sets or whatever to be able to satisfy the urge of those Something Wicked lovers, you know. And to be honest, it's a great record, and yeah, 20 years ago, man. So we were doing the Something Wicked trilogy. It just depends on the night, depends on time restrictions and all that kind of stuff. So we are limited with time, but you know what? Who knows what the future has. We have so many plans, man, to do cool stuff that but it's just it takes a lot to be able to put it into fruition and to be able to get the ball rolling. So, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But we'll see.
Killer, man. We'll keep working.
Yep.
Just as a closing thought for this interview, you are the third longest member of the band now, along with John, of course, the founder, and Brent. So, any thoughts on, you came in and it was a big whirlwind for you for Dystopia, and here you are.
Yeah.
We're going on almost 10 years since you auditioned. So, Killer, any thoughts, reflections on that time?
It's funny. I was thinking about that the other day. It's like, yeah, in the next 3 years, I've been in the band 7 years. So yeah, in 3 years, we've been in the band 10 years, long time. The reflections are, it goes quick. It goes really quick, but it's really cool that it does, because it means that we're doing something right and we're having fun with each other. I wouldn't take back this for anything. I've met some of the most awesome people in my life, and I've created some of the coolest music and been to some of the coolest places. So it's all good, man. It's all good. And here's to another 10 more.
Killer, man.
All right.
Stu Block of Iced Earth, man. Thank you so much for hanging out with Ghost Cult Magazine, ghostcultmag.com. I'm Keithy, and we're out.